Well, fine, good afternoon all. This is Patricia and I am traveling for history. I have a new book recommendation for you today, and that book is called Taking Fire, The True Story of a Decorated Chopper Pilot. It was written by Ron Alexander and Charles W. Sasser. Since I listened to it on audible.com, it was narrated by Corey M. Snow. The perfect voice, by the way, for a war book. This is what because there's more than one book titled Taking Fire, that's what the book cover looks like. And let me go ahead and read to you essentially the back cover. Quote, nicknamed Mini-Man for his diminutive stature, a mere 5'3" and 125 pounds, in his flight boots, chopper pilot Ron Alexander proved to be a giant in the eyes of the men he rescued from the jungles and paddies of Vietnam. With an unswerving concern for every American soldier trapped by enemy fire and a fearlessness that became legendary, Ron Alexander earned enough official praise to become the second most decorated helicopter pilot of the Vietnam era. Yet for Ron, the real reward came from plucking his fellow soldiers from harm's way, giving them another chance to get home alive. In Taking Fire, Alexander and acclaimed military writer Charles Sasser transport you right into the cramped cockpit of a Huey on patrol, offering a bird's-eye view of the Vietnam conflict. Packed with riveting action and gritty you-are-there dialogue, this outstanding book celebrates the everyday heroism of the chopper pilots of Vietnam. Unquote. This is an unabridged book, by the way. I much prefer reading unabridged books than their counterparts. Now, when I first started to listen to it, and understand I've been listening to a lot of Vietnam helicopter pilot books of late, and I'll be offering another book recommendation for another one that was outstanding as well. But I can assure you a lot of the others were absolute duds. Boy. This one, though, it started out with a boom right there in the middle of the action, and holy cow. And then the book starts from the beginning. A great introduction, a great way to start the book. Now, at the start, there's a lot of the personal stuff, the family information, the woman he would eventually marry. Not much about the children. He had two daughters, but there's not a lot about the family life once he's in Vietnam, except for mentioning that his wife met him in Hawaii, which was usual to have a vacation in Hawaii. So the book is absolutely riveting. Story after story after story after story after another story about things that happened, things that went on. Now this Mini-Man nickname, they mentioned a little bit of why he was called Mini-Man, but it's more involved than that. And I don't want to share that story and ruin it for you, because it's a good story and it's fun. The book is gritty. I mean, it's a war book, for pity's sake. It's a war book. But so fascinating. The terms are defined. Hallelujah, because I don't know what some of those words are, acronyms and abbreviations and whatnot. But he explains each one that he uses, which is fantastic. The number of times I've been left in the dark. Another one I read right before this one was would just leave us with the abbreviation. Now, since I already read so many others, I had much better idea what they meant. But would you? Would most others? If I hadn't read those other books, nope. I wouldn't have known anything. This we know he survived the war because, of course, he wrote the book. But flying these, the bravery of flying into a conflict with tracers being shot, and a tracer was colored to see where the enemy was, so they could, the Viet Cong could shoot down the helicopters. And listening to the stories of how they would fly into these zones to pick up these men. And we're talking not just the people who were alive, but also the dead. Amazing how they would risk their lives to do that. And they felt overall, the in this book certainly as well, it was clear that they wanted to protect their grunts. That's the infantrymen. They wanted to protect the grunts at practically any cost. He received multiple military honors, distinguished flying cross with, I think, the V for Valor. Astonishing where he could land a Huey. Those things those helicopters are not itty bitty teeny weeny machines. These are huge. So I can't recommend this book enough. I couldn't stop listening to it. It ran for 7 hours and 49 minutes. It felt like it was a 2-hour book. I mean, it flew by. Take that for what it's worth. But so good. I read it in 2 days. So good. I love the writing style. It's not just clear and concise. It's really exciting the way it's read. And again, that was Corey M. Snow, who was the narrator. He had all the necessary gravitas to his voice. Fascinating stuff. Amazing material. And anyway, I can't recommend it enough. I think you'd really, if you like to read about Vietnam helicopter pilots, then this is one of those books that I think you would really enjoy. I'm so glad I got to read this. It is available on Amazon. It's available in, let me see, Audible. As I said, Amazon owns Audible. It's available as a Kindle book, in a hardcover, and then the least expensive option, as of the filming of this, was a mass-produced paperback book of $1.80. That was on my feed anyway, $1.80. Exciting to listen to it. I'm sure it's exciting to read as well. Alrighty, well, this is Patricia. I'm Traveling for History. Thanks so much for coming with me today and listening to my recommendation of Taking Fire, the true story of a decorated chopper pilot. And until I see you again, I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Thanks for watching.